Okay, welcome to commentary on Not White. We are doing this outside in the back of the estate, so sit back and enjoy. This is a chapter that has probably too much going on in it, and I want to kind of take you through what's happening and also the inspiration that kind of points and leads to what is going on here. So two things that we see happening. First, we see Yule. She is in hospital, and Kyra, Vaughn, Raj, and M are all on the vessel, so they're not available. And then Mari and Trev, as we have seen, have had their own issues, and so they're not available either. So what we see is Yule is in hospital by herself. Now, the chapter starts out just talking about how white everything is. Uh, you may start to hear in the background some of our July 4th celebrations, so bear with me if those get out of control. Um, what we see is the loneliness of being in hospital by yourself. And where this comes from in my own experience, there has only been one time in my entire life that I felt lonely, and that was 13 years ago when Christopher was born. Uh, Me and his mother had just moved to Nashville about a year ago. We didn't know many people. None of us, neither of us had family that lived here. And I'll never forget, shortly after he was born, going to that famous window that fathers go to see the babies. Um, his mother is in recovery, and I'll never forget standing at that window, and there was a older lady standing next to me, looked to be a grandmother, and it was just the two of us. I remember the hallway; it was very quiet. The light was somewhat dim. It was in Baptist Hospital, and she looked over at me and said, "Which one is yours?" And I pointed him out. And for whatever reason, at that moment, it occurred to me that the person asking that question was a complete stranger. That it was not my mother, it was not my sister, it was not a relative of mine, it was not my grandmother, who I'm very close to, but it was a stranger. Christopher, uh, first child that I've had, only child that I've had. Um, so it was a special moment. It was one of those moments. I suppose if you have a photo album, it's one of those moments that stays with you, that you're gonna think back on most of your life as a significant point. And to share that with a stranger um, struck me in a way that nothing else has ever hit me in the same way. There was a legitimate sense of loneliness I have never felt before, and have never felt since. Um, so that's where Yule is in a sense. She's in hospital, and the six people in her life are not there. So there's that sense of loneliness, that sense of picking up the phone 100 times, and there's no message. There's no message from Raj. There's no message from Treb. There's no message from Mari. Um, and obviously there is that craving at this point in recovery from having survived, um, to have the people that are close to her near, and they're not. So that's the first thing that's happening. So she slips into her mind, so to speak, into the memories of uh, that sense of being alone. And the memory that she has is, and I'm looking for the clock on this thing. Um, the That is Maria. Maria, come over here. Come here.